And here we are, episode 12. 12. Ah, got the fingers right there, right? 12 of the Gil Can Run Show. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm sporting my Red Bulls paraphernalia t-shirt that I got. I actually got buying a ticket package. They sent me t-shirts for going to opening day this year. It was really cold. It was brutal. My niece and I had a good time though, and her friend, and we hung out, and it was cool. Reason I'm wearing this: Red Bulls beat Chelsea. Yeah, I know it's exhibition. It doesn't matter, it's exhibition. Well, let me tell you something. The Red Bulls didn't trot out their starters or anything. And they beat Chelsea. That's a big deal. Jose Mourinho will say it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. Eat it, Chelsea. Okay. Now that I've lost all the Chelsea fans in the audience, I hope you're still with me. I like the Red Bulls because, Manchester United, the Red Devils, Red Bulls, we're good. Anyway, plus the local MLS team, so, it's easy for me to take the train, drink a lot, and get home safe. It's also a cheap time. If you're looking for a place to bring people, bring family, bring whatever, MLS games, reasonable prices, good time, quality football now. They have quality. It's not like when they started and it was like they had, 5 good players in the whole league, and then Didier Drogba is probably going to sign with somebody in MLS this summer. Okay? He's at the end of his career, but he was one of the premier players in the world in his time. And that's a good thing for American football, American soccer football, because these players have this knowledge that we generally don't have in the States. They've been in the high-pressure situations in the Premier League and in the World Cup and things like that, and they bring it here and they share it with our players. So it has big implications when these guys at the end of their careers, like Gerrard and Beckham and these guys, come to the U.S. and play. And Thierry Henry, better not forget him. When they come and play, they bring experience with them. They teach the younger guys about these things. They give them the sense of what it's like and the sense of the skill level that these guys need to be at, and it helps and it improves. And I'm not the biggest USA soccer fan. First off, I hate the fact that we call it soccer. Second off, I hate the fact that when the league started, there were 2 45-minute halves no matter what, no overtime, no this, that, the other thing. And they counted down like we were doing, football or something. And it just, stupid. But that's neither here nor there. The point being that it's getting better, and the national team will get better as a result. Of course, being a dual citizen, I get the luxury of saying Italy, that's my team. They already have several World Cups under their belt. And I don't know if they're going to have one because the current crop of players they're really skilled. They're just really lazy, it seems, with a couple exceptions, of course. I just kicked into my camera with some of they're not really props, but I have props today, which, by the way, you're going to have to excuse me because I'm not back in my house yet. I don't have a full setup, so, I'm going to be going out of camera to grab things and whatnot. I have this whole thing planned out. We're actually going to talk about sports and running mostly today because I have a really big weekend happening here. Tomorrow night, I am running the marathon around the lake up in Wakefield, Massachusetts. I am then driving down to Queens. I'm going to stop at home. I'm going to rest. I'm going to eat. Driving down to Queens, and at 5 p.m. on Saturday, I am taking part in this 6-hour pajama romp presented by the Broadway Ultra Society. Love the Broadway Ultra Society. We had a lot of fun last year, and it's probably going to be a lot of fun this year, but I'm going to be in a lot of pain. I just realized something that I forgot out of my props. I don't know. If I decide to get up and run and get it and run back, I will, but I might not do that because I want to be as professional as possible with the screening of this stuff, even though I already knocked something in and knocked the camera around and whatever. But I try to bring up production values because I am an AV guy. I like having high production values and doing a good job and everything and making it pleasing for other people to watch because I want to get over 80 Facebook followers because I want to see what you get when you get over 100 Facebook followers and you get the dashboard and whatnot in there. No other reason. I'm not doing this because I want to feel better about myself by people liking me. I'm doing this because I feel like I have something to share in a way that it's maybe a way that I can share things and help people. And that's what I want to do. I want to help people through what I do in my life, whether it be running or the work that I do or whatever. I always want to help people. I like helping people. When people say you've been a real help to me, it's like a huge thing for me. It makes me feel really good about everything. Right? I like helping. I like making the world a better place. It's what I want to do. I want to make the world a better place than I found it. I want to make the world a better place every day, and I do that by trying to make myself a little better every day. And then I share those experiences with those who want to listen or can listen or feel like listening or whatever. Right? And that's why I thank you, because without you, what I'm doing is just talking to myself, which is not something out of the realm of possibility to begin with, but it's nice to know that I have a little bit of an audience. And I am making an impact. I'm making a difference. I'm helping people. Okay. If you know me from my personal Facebook page, you know I do a lot of really activist kind of stuff. And I'm very much into getting that out there. Okay. I do. I just really like to help people, and I think I can help people by doing this. So that's where we're at today. Have 2 big races this weekend. What am I going to do? I'm a pretty absent-minded guy. It's not that I'm dumb. It's that my brain gets going and I just end up forgetting things. So what I'm doing is I'm packing like I would pack for any other race, but I'm doing it twice. And that way, when I get home and I take a nap, I don't have to worry, did I forget anything? All I can do is just take my nap, get up, eat, and get back on the road. That's all I have to do tomorrow or on Saturday. And that's the idea. That's what I want to do because, I don't, this is a big thing for me. It's not just running back-to-back marathons. If I was running back-to-back marathons and 5 miles apart or something like that, I wouldn't be all that concerned. But that I have to drive 240 miles in between the marathons, I'm a little bit worried about that. It's a lot to ask physically and mentally. So I'm going to be prepared for both races, and that way I don't have to worry about forgetting anything. So what am I doing to prepare for both races? And this stuff goes whenever I'm traveling anywhere and I'm going to be running. These are the basic rules that I follow and how I generally pack. Only there's twice as much. Okay? This is just for running. But some of these things that I'm going to do, that I'm going to show you, can actually help you pack for regular vacations and non-running stuff. Because the way I fold up things and whatnot saves a lot of space. Because I have done a lot of traveling. I like to travel. And I like to travel for a long time. And you're limited on space and weight, obviously, when you're traveling by plane or whatever. So I try my best to make all that work out. Usually my biggest weight are sneakers because I need a couple pairs, right? So luckily one of them I wear on my feet. So let's get started with this, shall we? So first thing we need is some sort of bag to travel in. This one's all beat up, but it works. It's kind of tiny. It's not very big. It's my shoulder width part. It's got one main pouch and then 2 side pouches for stuff. I don't really need any toiletries. I'm going to bring Tiger Balm with me. That's the thing that I forgot in there. I'm going to bring my spare toothbrush and some toothpaste with me. And I actually have mouthwash in my Jeep that I need to get out, a travel-sized one that I'm just going to use. Just because I'm very big on dental hygiene. I also have a dentist appointment on Monday. So I take care of these things. All right. So very first thing that I pack, I can't remember where I put anything. Anytime I know I'm going to be running a race, pardon me, extreme close-up of my forehead, my running shoes. These are the sneakers that I run all my races and all my training miles in. I only use one pair at a time. I don't do trails, and I've done one trail half, and I did them in these shoes. So they worked. It wasn't a particularly rough trail. I think I probably would have liked regular trail shoes if it was a really rough trail, but these are relatively new. Not a lot of wear on them. You can see I'm a heel striker. I mean, look, this side, barely anything. Heel, you can see it's worn down a little bit. So, very first thing that goes in the bag every time I'm packing, and this goes for me no matter where I'm going, because no matter where I'm going, I'm running, right? So, very first thing that goes in are the shoes. Okay, now, here's the thing. I'm going to end up wearing probably my Mandals at some point. I haven't decided if I'm going to wear them while I'm driving tomorrow up to Massachusetts. Sometimes I don't mind wearing shoes after a marathon. Sometimes I very much mind wearing shoes after a marathon. So I always make sure that I have these on me. So I'm going to pop these in there as well. And yes, I totally said Mandals. You don't like it? Whatever. Okay, my regular, everyday, these are my old pair of running sneakers, believe it or not, right? Same model, everything, right? Well, I have to wear them to work tomorrow. I don't wear work, like, regular, like, nice, dressy shoes on a regular basis, because when I was, they were slipping on carpets, and I was hurting my knee. It was causing inflammation in my IT band. It was making my IT band issue worse. So I stopped and I only wore sneakers. Now my IT band issue's gone away, but I don't want to risk it right now. So I'm just leaving things as they are. I'm leaving status quo. Speaking of which, even though I haven't worn this in months, my IT band isolator. That'll go in one of the side pockets. It's just a little thing. It just gets thrown in there, no big deal. Okay, so now, stuff to run in. One pair of running shorts. I think I've gone over this. I've switched to Fila's because they have the material that I like and they're larger, and so I fold them like regular, but then, and I'm going to do this with everything, every piece of clothing that I put in there, I roll it up like that, right? So there's one. And then the other one, it's got the green stripe on the side. I like the green stripe. You know why? Because when I'm running in the darkness later in the year, when it gets dark earlier, it will make it easier for people to see. It's that one little extra thing. And given that I'm someone that's already been hit by a vehicle once, I like that one little extra thing. Okay, so shorts, number one. Number two, socks. I haven't decided which order I'm going to wear these in. These are actual, factual compression socks. These, not so much. I haven't decided how I'm going to use them. These have a little bit more support. I think I'm going to use these tomorrow. I think these are going to end up getting whipped out on Saturday. I think I need more support for the 6-hour race on Saturday. These generally I'll just throw them in however I want to throw them in. Make sure everything's lined up. I own socks that you have to put on specific feet. Runner's problems, right? So, jam these bad boys in there. Once again, roll them up tight. The tighter you roll things, the more space you're going to have too. So, we do what we can because we want as much space as possible, right? Okay. Next, we are on to after the race shorts. I'm only going to bring one pair because I'm not going to be sweating all that much in them. I might smell a little bad, but it's not that big of a deal. So there we go. After we run shorts, and they are in the bag. Okay. Now, in case I have a nice secluded area to change underwear, yeah, we're changing underwear. Because there's nothing better after a race than a clean-ass pair of underwear. Well, that and getting your socks off. Socks and a clean-ass pair of underwear. In case I have any ladies to impress. It's red, little flavor, little style. Whatever. No, I'm just making that shit up. Last thing I'm going to be feeling like is impressing anybody after fucking Saturday. Okay, so next thing, singlets. Alright? I think I'm going to wear my Milford singlet on Friday. No, scratch that. This is the more comfortable one. I'm going to wear it on Saturday because it's more comfortable. And the no meat athlete singlet for Friday, because we are no meat now. Every now and then, still, sometimes, because somebody makes something and I don't want them to feel bad. I'd rather feel bad than making someone that made something that they thought I would really want feel bad. Isn't that bizarre? Hats. Yeah, I know it's summertime and it's not that cold or whatever. It's not about the cold. It's about keeping sweat out of my eyes. And it's about, you know, keeping the sun off my head. So, my Maniacs one, which I probably will wear the Maniacs one on Saturday. And then this cheap free one that I got, that I'm not going to advertise the company, but just cheap free little beanie that I got in the wintertime. They just happened at a race that I was at. They happened to be giving them away, and I grabbed one because that was the day I ran a half marathon, and then I ran a 50K the next day. So People's United Bank Vermont Marathon shirt to wear after one of the races, because I'm obviously not wearing a singlet home, and I'm going to want a clean shirt, and my no meat athlete. And yeah, I basically wear tech stuff. And look at this. I just got this. One of the threads is... Right? And here I am using my teeth like an idiot. And something else that I'm packing up, my Swiss Army knife, which I got for being a groomsman for my cousin. Thanks, Justin. And thank you, Stacy, for the gift. I do get use out of it. If Swiss Army knife, it's got all these great little attachments, big knife and little knife and scissors and pliers and things like that. And the cool thing was they got one that they thought kind of matched each groomsman's particular skill set. So mine's kind of the utilitarian one, which is cool. Mine's not very specified. I have lots of different little tools on it, which is cool. And of course, the most important tool on any knife, corkscrew. This came in handy the day that my house burned down, because I didn't have a corkscrew and I was able to open up wine bottles. And when your house burns down, you need to open up wine bottles. Why? Because your house just burned down. Okay, so I'm actually thinking just wearing a pair of shorts to work. I'm going to be at work for a whole 2 hours tomorrow. I think I can get away with wearing shorts. I think I'm going to do that. So those don't actually have to go in the bag. Okay, now my inhaler is going to be on me at work. Don't need to worry about that. I know that this particular marathon has, both marathons have full support, including snacks and stuff, but just in case, I'm packing some Cliff Bars if I need them. I also have some Cliff Bars and my water bottle in case I need it. So, all that goes in the bag. Okay. We've been putting all this in the bag, I promise you. I already have a pocket filled. Been putting this all in the bag as I'm doing it, so you can see at the end. Very important. And I have like a ton of these in the bag, but I actually took them out of the bag just in case. Most places will have safety pins for you to pin on your bib, but every now and then you go to a race and they don't have safety pins to pin on your bib. I always bring an extra set or two with me. Always, always, always. Okay. This is a new piece of kit that I got last time I took my niece to see the Red Bulls, and I'm going to give it a try this weekend. And it is a towel. It is a microfiber towel from this Mission Athlete, whatever they are. And the deal with this is EnduraCool. See that? EnduraCool, right? The deal with this is you get it wet. And you can get it wet however you want to get it wet. Sweat, water, whatever. You get it wet, you wring it out, and then you snap it. And you put it around your neck or whatever. It's supposed to keep you 30 degrees cooler than the ambient temperature around you. So I'm going to give that a try. It was working pretty well at the Red Bulls game. It was pretty hot. I'm going to give it a try, see what happens. Check it out. All right, KT tape. I have the KT tape in a bag because I don't like it getting all over the place and it gets nasty. My knee has been acting up. I may need this. So we have KT tape. So that goes in the bag. I try not to ever use plastic bags, but when I get them from the store, I reuse them a lot because I don't want them ending up in the ocean. Extra S caps, sodium, slow mag. Take that before the race. We all know what that is. Nipple band-aids. Medical tape. Sunscreen. Racing is the only time I use sunscreen unless I'm going to be out and I put it on my tattoos. But I don't generally put it on normally because I don't generally burn. But when I'm out for 4 or 6 hours in the sun, then I'll burn. So I put it on. Okay, I have not been using compression shorts. I'm bringing them with me in case I need them on Saturday. I know I won't need them Friday night. But if I need them on Saturday, I will have them. And they all get, everything gets the roll-up treatment, right? Everything gets the roll-up treatment. Okay, what else do we have? My Road ID bracelet. But Chris, you say, you're going to be at a supported event. Well, nobody there knows me. Well, in Queens, people will know me, but that's besides the point. Okay. My Walkman. Yes, I use a Walkman. You want to fight about it? I actually need to change some of the music in there. I'm actually not going to pack this right now. I'm actually going to put this on my computer. I'm going to use the computer later. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit. Of course, my running watch. I'm going to charge it, and the charger for the Walkman, or the Walkman as well. Once again, all going on the computer because I'm going to make sure everything's fully charged before I go. If I'm wearing my sneakers after the race, fresh socks, fresh, comfy socks. Okay, these are the comfiest socks I own. I'm bringing them with me because I want fresh, comfy socks if I'm wearing shoes after I run. It's just the way that I am. And as I said, Tiger Balm, toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash, and that's it. That's everything that I'm bringing. And here we go. We're going to zip this up. And you're going to see, I mean, I don't just have room in here. I have like lots of room in here. And I packed, that's a lot of stuff I packed in there. Right? Ta-da! That's all I need. Oops. I left out the safety pins. Safety pins, ho! There we go. And that's that. And that's how I pack. Really, more safety pins. They're just coming out everywhere. I have safety pins coming out of the wazoo. Maybe I didn't leave out the safety pins. Maybe all the other safety pins fell out. So there we go. Because I do. I have like a ton of things, safety pins in there. And that's everything. And I have my wallet, my keys, and all that stuff that I'm going to have on me anyway. And that's what I'm going to bring with me. So that's how I pack. That's what I pack in general for running. If I'm going away for a weekend, then I have a backpack actually that I put my computer in with speakers and everything like that. So like when I'm getting ready, when I'm in the shower, I have tunes to listen to get me amped, to get me pumped, to get me going, and all that good stuff. And that's basically how I do it. And I think it's a good way to do it. It saves space. It saves weight. It saves aggravation because I've been to races where I forget something and then I'm like, rah. So like you do it beforehand when you have time, when you're relaxed, get all your stuff prepped and get out the door. That's like the biggest thing. Like preparation is like 95% of running, right? The training, but then also making sure that you have all your gear on the day. And if you do it the night before, or however soon before you can, then you have nothing to worry about. I've gotten to races and realized I forgot my sneakers. What a pain in the ass, right? So it actually happened to me at the Brantford Road Race last year. The one time I forgot my sneakers. So I've actually walked out the door forgetting them before, but I've remembered them in time where I was able to have somebody run them to me real quick. Like, I was like a mile or two away from the house, or I was able to turn around or have somebody drive them to me where I was. One was a couple exits up on the highway. I pulled over and I was like, could you just bring me the sneakers? And they did, and everything was cool. So I learned my lessons, and that's why I'm giving you this advice now, because I've learned my lessons. You shouldn't have to learn them on your own. You should be able to get somebody who's been through it to give you some good advice on how to do it. And that is exactly what I just did. So I still have some time left, so I'm going to share other non-running stuff with you now, because we've talked a lot about running today, which is very rare for me. But over 50% of the show was dedicated to running for once. Yay! Actually, it's funny because on the Marathon Maniacs Facebook page, someone was talking about, do you have a six-pack from running? And I'm like, I have Tupac. How do you want it? I don't know. Does anyone get that out there? I don't know if you did. If you did, kudos to you. You're a fan. So, I'm sitting there, and I don't have the best upper body still because I dropped all that weight, and I just have not really been working at it. I've been doing little things with little bits of weight here and there. I've been doing some yoga, but I really have not been worried about getting all buff and trim up top. It just hasn't been a thing for me because I'm not motivated by vanity. I don't care about how I look. I care about how I feel. I care about my health, right? That's what I care about. I don't want to die a horrible death where I can't breathe. That's the thing that motivates me. I don't care what I look like. I don't care if someone thinks that I'm hot or anything. I just don't. I mean, yeah, I'd like some girl to think that I'm hot and have my kids and everything, but that's neither here nor there right now. That's not my point. My point being that, I'm good enough as I am. It's the health, it's the well-being, it's what's inside that I'm working on. I'm more concerned at what's inside than what's outside, because what's outside is superficial, right? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what I look like. It matters who I am and what I have going on in the inside, and that means physical health and spiritual health, emotional health, whatever you want to call it, right? That's what it means. So that's what I work on. That's what I'm trying to do, right? And in the course of things, if my body gets buff because of it, then so be it. I don't really care. So that being said, they were, talking about, do you have a six-pack? And so I was cracking jokes. That's what I do. I crack jokes. You don't like it? Tough. Want to fight about it? Throw, bro. So, no, don't, though, because, yeah, I don't feel like fighting. I really don't. It's just not a thing. Anyway, but very cool week, because not only do we have the New Horizons mission that flew by Pluto and got these great shots, and they're going to have a big press conference tomorrow about a lot of the data that they're getting back. The Pluto flyby is still happening. I mean, it's gone a great distance. It got within, I think, 7,000 miles of Pluto, right? That's the closest we got to Pluto, was 7,000 miles. And it's traveling at 14.5 kilometers per second, okay? So it's like already a fair ways away from Pluto, but it's still doing science in the Pluto system, in the Pluto area. And it's still finding things out about Pluto. and there's going to be data that they've gone through, that's sifted through, that they're going to go over tomorrow, and this is going to continue for the next few months. And then they're going to figure out what the next target is, what the next thing in the vicinity is that they want to check out. And it's going to keep going, and it's going to be cool. This mission, New Horizons, so you know, is planned to be an active mission until 2026, another 11 years. It's taken 9 years to go from Earth to Pluto. So in 11 years, it should be twice the distance away, finding even cooler stuff. And it's got that really awesome camera. I mean, those pictures that you're seeing that have this great definition of Pluto, those were taken from 7,000 miles away. 7,000 miles. How awesome is that camera, right? So we're going to have great pictures for months and years to come from this thing that are going to be out there, things that we didn't even know existed before. So it's really, really cool. And that's what's happening there. But more really cool stuff is happening, right? So Stephen Hawking, he announced that he's, created a prize for someone who finds alien life or proof of alien life. Not on this planet, just in general. So now we have people that are going to start working for that, which would be nice. I mean, people have been working on that, but that there's a prize involved. You'll end up getting venture capitalist type people investing in these things on a larger scale to make it happen. And that's big. That's important. Because, and no, I don't think that there's little gray men out. I mean, there might be somewhere little gray men, which we're going to get into the possibilities on that in a minute. But, there are cells out there. There are fungi, whatever you want to say. There are algae. There are, there's stuff out there. I guarantee it. There is stuff out there. A lot closer than we think. And we've gone over this before. We're going to find stuff closer than we ever thought possible. I'm willing to bet money that we are going to find stuff in this solar system, not on this Earth. Okay? Because we found stuff on this Earth where we thought we would never find stuff. They just found a shark, a higher evolved, complex organism living in a hydrothermic vent. Those are vents at the bottom of the ocean where there's a volcano, basically. And they found sharks living in there. At first, they just found some, bacteria and some flatworms, really simple stuff. It's easy for simple stuff to adapt to an environment like that. Now they're finding sharks. Sharks are much more complex. It is more difficult for them to adapt to life and things like that. But they did it. Because, as they said in Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum's character said, life finds a way. Right? I don't know if I delivered it exactly the way he did, but I think I came pretty close. So, I love Jeff Goldblum, by the way. He was in Transylvania 65000, hilarious movie with Ed Begley Jr. and Gina Davis. If you've never seen it, check it out. Transylvania 65000. Ooh, Kramer was in it. Michael Richards. This is years and years and years ago. Before, he went on that whole rant thing when he was doing his stand-up thing, and that was kind of really uncomfortable and wrong, and he shouldn't have done that. But that's okay, because he was really funny in that movie. And the movie in general was really funny. I always enjoyed it. I would enjoy it if I were watching it right now, but I'm not. I'm doing this. So, but anyway, so they're going to find life much closer than we think on a Jovian moon or on one of Saturn's moons, or maybe even they're thinking possibly on Pluto. Because there is lots of ice on Pluto. There is a possibility under the surface for a lot of liquid water or even water ice, and we know that organisms can live in water ice without sunlight. So, we have to see. And on that vein, they also announced today that the Kepler Space Telescope, which Kepler is an awesome mission, because what Kepler is, it's a telescope designed to look at moons or look at suns, stars, and find planets transiting those stars. And it's done a fantastic job of doing that. Now that even two of its reaction wheels are busted, they found a way to keep it going. It needed at least 3 at first. It was designed with 4. 1 went bad. They're like, okay, we can still work with 3. 2 went bad. They're like, oh God, we're going to have to shut the mission down. This is going to be so sad. And then somebody realized you can use the light coming from the sun, the photons coming from the sun, to help. And so it's been able to keep going. It's not as good as it was, but maybe in some ways it's better than it was. Because what they found in this new crop of planets that they found, exoplanets, planets that are not in our solar system, they found one in the habitable zone of a star that is the same size as our sun. Okay? So same size as our sun, about the same heat output. It's a little bit larger, puts out a little bit more heat, but in astronomical terms, it's not that much of a difference. Here's the thing. It's a rocky planet, they believe. It is in the habitable zone. It is only 60% larger than Earth. So a little over half, again, the size of Earth. Okay? So we're talking, Earth and then this world. Okay? And they believe it has water. It's also a lot older than Earth. It's 6 billion years old. Earth is not 6 billion years old. Earth, I believe, is, I forget now. What is it, 1.5, 2 billion? I forget. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, point being, it is older than Earth, but it's there. And now that we found this world, and it's a promising world, and we already have trained other telescopes on it to confirm the findings that we got from Kepler, right? You don't just see things. See, when they say Kepler found this, Kepler found it, yeah. And they found the initial stuff, and they said, oh, this is promising. So what they did was they went to other telescopes throughout the world, and they said, look at that and tell us what you see. This is the thing about science that people don't get, right? They think, oh, like Darwin wrote this theory, and that's that, and it's the theory, and that. No, other people then take the hypothesis, okay, and they test it, and they retest it, and they test it again. It's called peer review. It's a beautiful process. And then once they figured out, okay, this is the truth here. This is what it is, because we keep getting the same findings. Then they say, okay, this is what we found. This is the theory, or this is the idea, right? A theory is a pretty strong thing. So whether you're talking evolution or you're talking a planet that Kepler found, whatever, it's been tested by several different sources, and it keeps coming up true. And every time you test it, it keeps coming up true. And that's the thing. And the people that say, oh, with evolution, oh, well, that's not true. They just don't understand. They don't know what they're looking for, and they refuse to listen. I know, because I have an uncle that I have to deal with this all the time, and it's crazy. And I don't even talk to him anymore because of it. It's kind of sad. But who wants to deal with that? Okay? I'm sorry if you don't believe in evolution. I'm sorry. Frankly, I don't want the argument. Okay? You can just go away and keep being wrong, and that's fine. Just please let your kids learn science. Okay? For the rest of our sakes. We don't need another Dark Ages. They were called the Dark Ages for a reason. Thanks. So this is pretty established, that this world is what this world they say it is, what they think it is. So now we can train more telescopes, and in a few years we're going to have much bigger telescopes. There's the James Webb telescope that's going online in 3 years, I want to say. It's going to be huge. It's going to be up there, and it's going to make Hubble look tiny. Okay? This is going to be a giant telescope, and it's going to be cool. And then I believe the British are making a telescope in the Atacama Desert that's coming online in 2026 or 2022. And it's an Earth-based telescope, so unfortunately you have to deal with the atmosphere. And that's why they put them in like places like the Atacama Desert or out in Hawaii, because they want to go where the atmosphere is the thinnest that they can get to have these large installations. You can't do it on a place like Everest. You can't put a large installation there. So you find these places that are generally high up in the first place, not very populated, not a lot going on around them. All right, like the Atacama Desert, there's like nothing alive there. So you put something there, you're not really messing with anything. So you put stuff there, and so you don't get a lot of interference, but you still get interference. But this is going to be an enormous telescope. It's going to be like the size of, I think, a football field. No, I'm sorry, basketball court. This thing's going to be the size of a basketball court. I think it's actually going to be a bit larger than a basketball court. That's a big telescope. It's a really big telescope. So it should get some really nice pictures. But we're going to have stuff in orbit, on the ground, looking at these things and getting us that much more information. Think about the fact that we didn't even have confirmation that there were exoplanets until 1995. In 20 years, we have found over 4,000 with our limited ability to search. Found over 4,000. What are we going to end up finding when these even bigger telescopes are going up there and they're looking at these things? What are we going to see? What are we going to find? And for those of you wondering, well, how do they know that a star is made out of this and how old this is and how big this is? Well, a lot of it has to do with the light that comes back, because everything is all about light, right? So this planet is 14,000 light years away. To put that in perspective, at the current speed of New Horizons, if it were headed towards this planet, it would take 29 million years for it to reach there. Think about that. That's how big a distance. New Horizons, the fastest thing we've ever put into space, would take 29 million years to reach this planet. That's 14,000 light years away. That's how far from the speed of light we're going. Okay, so if we're going at light speed, it would take 1,400 years. I'm sorry, did I say 14,000? It's 1,400 years. It would take 1,400 years. New Horizons, fastest thing we've ever built, 29 million years. So we got to start making things that are a lot faster. So even 1,400 years is way too long. We need to find ways. There may be ways. The Kepler drive, possibly. We have to see. We have to figure it out. We have to find the power first to do it. We don't have a power source that's going to get us there. And then we have to figure out how to make it work. Because even the Kepler drive, according to the theory, wherever you stopped, you would destroy whatever you stopped in, because just everything would just blow out. So, got to figure these things out. But that's neither here nor there. So, the light coming back from these things, or the lack of light coming back from these things, tells us everything that we know about them. Gives us size, gives us chemical composition, because the chemicals are, depending on what's there, are going to affect what light is getting to us, what light is being filtered, right? So depending on the light that's getting filtered out can tell you what elements are, reacting with the light. So what the light's hitting, what it's letting through, what it's filtering out, tells you what elements are there, tells you what compounds are there, things like that. Because we know this stuff. We know, what colors get reflected from what different things, because we study these things, right? It's why the sky is blue. Rayleigh scattering. Look it up. Okay. So we can take these things that we've learned, that we've discovered, and we can apply them to what we're seeing, and then we can figure out what the hell's going on. And it's pretty cool. It's cool to know what the hell's going on, right? So that's what we got there. We have this planet, roughly Earth-sized, roughly in the same size, sun, in the habitable zone, possibly water. And that's really cool. That is really cool. So, because I mean, we're not alone in this universe. We're not unique. You know, it's just the way that it is. So, oh, look at that. Our time is up today. I've gone on. I got so excited about this stuff, and our time is up. So, big weekend this weekend. I hope I see you guys next Thursday. We're going to see how everything goes. It might be a little bit crazy for me because I'm going to be moving this coming week at some point. I don't know when. So if I'm not moving on Thursday, I'll do my regular Thursday thing. If I am, you're just going to have to wait till I get settled in. It might be as late as Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. So once again, if you like this, if you have fun, if you enjoy the crazy stuff I post, like the little, snippets I do during the week and then this big show and everything like that, please share with your friends, share with your family, share with people you hate. I don't know. I don't care. Share, send them to the Facebook page, drive that traffic and see who we can help out and what we can do if we all stick together and try something new. And that's what I'm all about. Geeking out, talking about science and philosophy and running and whatever I can do, right? So if you enjoy it, share the goodness. And, you can catch me on the book faces and the tweeters and the Google pluses. Not that I really do anything there. I don't really do anything on Tumblr either, but I'm there. I'm kind of really bad with the whole social presence thing because, I don't know. But I need to get better at it. I really need to get more disciplined at my social media presence. Woo! And do all that stuff. So anyway, take it easy. Have fun. Keep running. If Gil can run, then so can you. Anyone remember? Yan can cook? Yeah. So if Gil can run, so can you. Have fun. Keep running. We'll see you next time. Take it easy. Ciao.